Hello, my name is Zuhair Bedwan, and I'll be talking about 3D printing. However, before I talk about 3D printing, I would like to describe what this technology can do. Imagine how many soldiers unfortunately lose limbs during combat. Imagine if those limbs could now be replaced with new and better limbs. This is the world of 3D printing. So what is 3D printing? 3D printing is taking a three-dimensional design from a digital format and printing it into a physical format. One would use a computer-aided design software such as AutoCAD Inventor, SolidWorks, and even 3ds Max to create the design, or they could use a 3D scanner. The printer creates objects layer by layer vertically, and a 3D printer can print any object depending on the material you give it. It can print in nylon, metal, plastic, and over 100 other materials. It sounds great, right? So you're probably wondering, what are some other things we can create with 3D printing? Well, other than replacing a limb, you could replace that really expensive part in your car. Now you can make that replacement part for yourself and you can make it cheaper. You could print your breakfast for the morning, you could make guitars and toys for your children. Instead of buying it at the retail store, you can make it yourself. You can make jewelry, clothes, and anything else you can imagine. The picture in the top left of the slide is a prototype 3D printed shoe for track and field athletes, mainly for sprinters, and it was created by New Balance. This shoe was printed using different materials, such as metal for the spikes, which are on the front of the shoe, rubber for the strengthening of the outside of the shoe, as well as cloth materials for the outside of the shoe as well. The picture in the top right of the slide is a 3D printed kidney that was constructed using human cells by Dr. Anthony Atala, who is the director of the Regenerative Medicine Program at Wake Forest. In a TED convention presentation, Dr. Atala explained how 90% of patients on the waiting list for transplants were waiting for a kidney transplant. The 3D printing of kidney transplants will save millions of lives. The picture in the bottom left of the slide is 3D printed food. Now we can print food on the spot in our home, or in the near future. We can also provide food for people in countries who are having a famine or a drought. 3D printing will also help to foster growth in the economy. As 3dprints.com's Krasenstein said to BusinessInsider.com, you can ask 100 economists what they think will eventually happen once the 3D printing and robotics markets mature, and you will likely get 100 different answers, he writes. We have seen that technology has done in the past destroying millions of jobs, but in the process creating tens of millions of new jobs. There's little reason to believe that this wave of progress will be any different. Now, here's the real question. How does this affect our business here at Create in Code? So, some possible positive impacts on our company are that we can now expand our market into new business fields and new partnerships. There will be less waste of materials and resources at our company. We can save money by creating our own parts instead of buying them from other companies that might overcharge us. We can also do rapid prototyping for faster product design, as well as now we can access or get access to a massive online library of shared 3D parts that has over thousands of entries already in it. So if you look into the graph that's on the bottom of the slide, you'll see that 67% of 73 respondents, or 49 companies of the 73 company respondents, in the survey for what is their current use of a 3D printer, shows that many are already using it for prototyping and research and development. So now what are some possible negatives to 3D printing or possible negative impacts that 3D printing can have on our company? Well, first and foremost, it's extremely expensive. Industrial printers can run at prices starting at $600,000 to $1 million for the really high-end 3D printers, while consumer 3D printers run from $250 to $2,500. As you can see in the image below, the price of 3D printing played a part in why some companies didn't implement the use of a 3D printer. So, in order to really take advantage of this new amazing technology of 3D printing, I propose that we first invest in an industrial 3D printer, and although not cheap, it'll be worth it because we'll be ahead of the rest of the new companies that arise from when 3D printers become cheaper. I also propose that we partner with a company that already has experience with using or evaluating 3D printers. This way we're able to learn from them, and they're also able to learn from us. And so, in closing, as you can see, 3D printers are going to become a very important tool in not only our daily company objectives, but also as part of our lives. We'll soon have to add it to our many household essentials one day. Thank you for watching my presentation, and I hope you guys enjoyed it.